Little Nitro.
Stat.
If James lost, he'd have to eat a dub.
I'm not doing that. Did you see that clip of Deion Sanders?
You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Deion.
Let me put some respect on his name. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. It is the 13th of February, 2023. Producer James is in the building. The man, the DF Dub, West Washington. How are you, sir? How you living? How are things post SB LVII? Is that right? LVII 40-something, 50-something, 54? Do we know? 56? I don't know. It's too many to count right now. It's been around longer than I've been alive. With all that being said, I was going to say producer James. Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how I got those two confused, but it is what it is. You know, it's the brand.
It must be the looks.
It's do me a favor and move that non-paying sponsor out of the frame for yourself there, please, sir. I appreciate it. It's covering up the brand. They ain't cut no checks. I'm just saying, if you want to cut checks, just Dos Equis, hit us up, paulrodriguez.com and reboundathletes.com. That was too many .coms in there. Wes, bro, what a game last night by Patrick Mahomes, being able to defeat Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. Lots of people not climbing on light poles in Philadelphia tonight or yesterday night. Kansas City celebrates big. Man, what are we going to call Kansas City right now? 3 Super Bowl appearances in the last 4 years. Patrick Mahomes has 2 MVPs. He has 2 Super Bowls, Super Bowl MVP. I think 2 of them, right? 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Dude's just putting away hardware right now. It was a great game. Good to see. What are your thoughts from last night's big victory from Kansas City? Philadelphia played well too, right? I mean, we can't ignore that fact.
I mean, yeah, Philly, they definitely played enough to win. They just couldn't close it out at the end. If you look at the stats, like I said, they dominated time possession, yardage. They did have the 1 turnover, which was pretty costly, the scoop and score. But, I mean, they played well enough to win. A lot of the experts thought they were going to dominate the game, but I think Patrick Mahomes was like, hey, y'all forget that I am a Super Bowl MVP, regular season MVP. I've been here before. I do have a ring. So don't just count me out. And they came up and they played big when it counted. It was quite the game, you know. It was definitely entertaining. But, you know, it's what you want for a Super Bowl. You know, you don't want to just be there for the commercials and halftime show. You want some drama, and you want to see some people, you know, get nervous. And that's what you had last night, man. It was a great game.
Do you think the drama all began with Sirianni shedding tears during the national anthem? Do you think that's what set the tone for how well this game would kind of come over 4 quarters? Do you think that drama set the pace? And because kind of for me, I wasn't expecting it. You know, shout out to Sirianni for having that much patriotism while the national anthem is playing along. They did mention how it was a dream of his as a child to be on a sideline as a head coach whenever he was watching Whitney Houston and when the Dallas Cowboys were winning their championships. And for me, it's okay. James can hate all he wants. We're not really talking about the 1960s Packers right now. But getting back to the point, it was cool to kind of see how well these 2 competitive coaches, and that's what I kind of let last night. I'm not sure if anybody saw the Paul Rodriguez Facebook page, and the post that I made was, this is what 2 championship level coaches look like. And Dallas Cowboy fans, unfortunately, you don't have that. I know I'm tying in the Cowboys, but it is what it is. But for me, I just like to see how well the adjustments were made on Andy Reid's coaching staff and how they were able to defeat Sirianni's defense in the later half of the second half of the game. You had 2 touchdowns by Kansas City where the receivers were wide open. One of the plays, everybody goes with the flow with Travis Kelce, got a wide open receiver on the flat, and then the second time they do it to Sky Moore on the other side of the hash, and 2 big 14-point touchdowns with a huge swing. And for some reason, Jalen Hurts almost had a huge touchdown that could have put some big money in my buddy's pocket, but Devontae Smith had to go out of bounds. Sorry, James. But listen, Wes, it was entertaining from beginning to end. Travis Kelce's letting everybody know who his quarterback is. Patrick Mahomes is taking care of business like I think everybody was waiting for Patrick to fail. When he got hurt right before the half, I think everybody was expecting him to fold up and go into the half and not be able to produce in the second half, and that was quite the opposite. The guy's a gamer. What are we going to start talking about with Patrick? Is Patrick the guy who will win every close game that he's coming, I don't know, where he has to come back from behind? Or is it the group that makes Patrick better? And I think that's an argument we need to start having is Patrick making his players better, or is the group making Patrick better? Because right now, he lost Tyreek to Miami. The only person left was Travis Kelce. New running backs, new receivers, good defense, but the two constants are Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. So for me, it's Patrick making his teammates better, like a certain guy in Green Bay, like a certain guy who was in New England, now recently left Tampa. Where are you putting Patrick Mahomes, Wes? Is he the guy who's going to make his team better, or is he the $500 million quarterback who just happens to be on a team that has a lot of weapons?
No, I definitely think he's the guy that makes your team better because, I mean, you look at what he does. I mean, if you want a young quarterback, you say, you want to show him video of how to play quarterback, you don't show him Patrick Mahomes because he basically does everything that they teach you not to do with all his throwing from different arm angles and all that kind of stuff. But as you get good, I mean, yeah, you want to watch that guy because he's a baller. He's a gamer. He's going to try to lay on the line and try to win every game that he plays. He's going to try to win every down that he's at quarterback. So I think that also it rolls over to your teammates. If your teammates see you out there playing hard, giving it all you got, they're going to do the same. I think that was something that Tom Brady did when he was in the league. I mean, maybe it didn't go off as good with this past year in Tampa Bay because he probably yelled at him more than normal. But usually when a guy like Patrick Mahomes, you say a guy like Aaron Rodgers, a guy like Tom Brady, when they play hard, everybody listens. So everybody wants to compete at their level. And that's why, it seems like they always have good teams, but they're making their team better, you know? So it was so for what I'm saying is like Mahomes is that guy, like he was no way that he was not going to come back in that second half. Unless his foot fell off, there was no way he wasn't coming back in that second half. I mean, we saw that in the AFC Championship game,
right?
When he probably shouldn't have came back in the game, but he was like, no, this is my game. This is my team. This is my season. Let me lose it if we're going to lose it, So, you got to give it up to him. He may be kind of annoying. He does sound like Kermit the Frog. His wife is, I wish somebody put her in a wood chipper along with his brother.
Easy.
But you got to admit, when that guy is on the field and he's your quarterback, you're in good hands.
How does he do it? He's just... Is that the Mahomes? Is that the Jay Mahomes thing?
You been practicing or what?
Hey man, I saw it
You've
today.
Been in the mirror, haven't you?
I'm just saying. Let me tell you something. What I enjoyed the most last night from that victory from Kansas City was when Patrick went and looked for his dad. And when he went, he found his dad, and he was like, "We did it. We did it." He's like, "You did it again." It's like now when I'm sure when Patrick has a son, he's going to be looking to kind of do those same things. And right now, he's on top of the mountain. He's the MVP. He's the reigning MVP. He's the reigning Super Bowl MVP. He's the reigning Super Bowl champion quarterback of Kansas City. How much more money do they need to pay him? Because I don't know if Kansas City has any more money to kind of keep him around. And what does Patrick ask for? Because that's what I start thinking about. You win a championship. You win all these accolades. You have so much leverage for one of the original NFL teams. And now you have to ask yourself, where does Patrick Mahomes go from here? And, I almost feel like I'm kind of leaving Jalen out. Although Jalen played tremendous. Jalen played the best game of his season last night. And Wes, I know I dogged you all year. I know I talked so much crap about how Jalen was playing. Last night, he played up to what you've been describing about him consistently for 4 quarters. I was like, I'm not blaming him for the fumble, although he did, because he was transitioning to the ball to his outside hand so it wouldn't get hit. He just did it a little too late. And I was like, that's the right technique. He needs to move the ball to his outside hand so the defender wouldn't hit it. He just did a little too slow. Did it cause a fumble? Yeah. Did they scoop and score? Yes. But they still weren't out of the game. They were right in contention. They had all the momentum leading into the latter half of the fourth quarter until that huge kick return happened. Philly was in control. And then Mahomes took over. He went down and he locked the game up. And kudos to Andy Reid. I'm sorry. Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, Patrick Mahomes, Steve Spagnuolo, let me put some respect on his name, took care of business from the coaching aspect of this. Andy Reid's and Eric Bieniemy's adjustments. Spagnuolo got after Jalen. He was able to contain A.J. Brown, limited Devontae Smith, and made sure that nobody was going to beat them in the running game. For me, this was a huge execution by the offense and the defense and a just complete game by Kansas City. But Jalen showed a lot of poise, and he showed a lot of moxie that is going to make Philadelphia extremely dangerous if their general manager is going to be pulling theft from other teams, like bringing in Hassan Reddick, bringing in Gardner James from New Orleans. This dude is going out and plucking talent and plugging him into Philadelphia to make runs. And I'm be really honest with you, Wes. Be really honest. I'm a little jealous because we don't have a general manager like that in Dallas. We don't have championship level coaching out in Dallas. Now
we also don't have a quarterback that makes plays.
That's true. That is true. But here's my thing. Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy have 1 year. They have 1 year left. And we'll call this Paul East 35. Back to Dallas. Because right now, for me, you got to prove it year for Dak, and Zeke's gone. I'm sorry. I think Zeke's gone. You got 1 year. Prove it, Dak. Prove it, Mike McCarthy. Because if you don't, they're going to promote Quinn to head coach or bring in somebody else to head coach, and those two jokers are out. Because I'm sorry. You have a championship-level team with Philadelphia, and there's nobody else in the NFC right now. Who else is there that you can name? Who else is out there in the NFC?
There's really
don't
not
tell
anybody,
me Philly. Don't tell me Los Angeles.
But I don't think you realize who the front office is of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's why I said. That's why I said. Look, there's no Howard. There's no Howard Roseman. There's no Howie Roseman in Dallas. That's the general manager for Philadelphia. There's only Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones is the shot caller. He is the man with the big pen. He writes the checks with his name on them. And it's not that dynamic is not going to be successful or conducive to championships unless something miraculous happens where everybody or whoever the quarterback is for the Dallas Cowboys figures it out in an epiphany, which I highly doubt. Will I root for him? Sure. Depending on how the matchups go, we'll pick Dallas most likely sometimes. But right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are too scary. There's too much talent. They're too well coached. And Sirianni has the intestinal fortitude of a college kid. It's like T.I. said, he's got the confidence of a college kid right now. I'm sorry. Nick Sirianni went for it on 4th and short how many times last night? 4 or 5? How is he able to just go ahead and say, I don't care what's going to happen because I know my defense is going to be able to keep Mahomes at bay for the most part. And at the same time, if I know it's 4th and 1 or 2, 3rd and 1 or 2, I can run a quarterback sneak because my quarterback squats 600 effing pounds. What's the answer, Wes? Who's the answer in the NFC if it's not Philly? I don't see one.
I mean, yeah, but you never know what's going to happen. We could be this time, going into the season, things can happen. Of course, Philly, I would think right now is going to be the favorite in the NFC to go back. But if they don't say something happened to Jalen Hurts, obviously they can't win without Jalen Hurts.
True.
And obviously, there's been a trend with quarterbacks that make plays with their legs. They get outside the pocket. They tend to get hurt. And that's something that Jalen Hurts likes to do is make plays with his leg, get outside that pocket. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the other teams. Let's say if you get a team like, say, Tampa Bay and, you find maybe a running back, you find some offensive linemen, you find a quarterback, they could be a team that can come back. If you look at the Seattle, I thought they were much improved. But, I could say you could throw in the Cowboys as a name that's going to contend for the NFC next year. But I think you got to still look at Minnesota. Will the Giants improve? And also, I thought Washington, was a quarterback away from being in the playoffs pretty much. And you also got the Lions, who everybody's cheering for. So, yes, right now.
You give no love to Jordan Love?
Finally, it's the Eagles.
No love for Jordan?
For Jordan Love?
No love for Jordan Love?
I don't know, man. Is Aaron Rodgers still sitting in the dark?
Apparently. James, is he still sitting in the dark?
I was gonna ask y'all earlier, like where do y'all think this dude is, or what do y'all think he's doing at this exact moment?
He's getting ready for his trip.
Getting ready for
he's packing his bags.
Getting ready for Groundhog Day. Oh, he's coming. Get ready. He's coming out, guys. He's coming out.
He's making a call down to ground control. How does that song Wes? How does that song go? Paging Major Tom or something Tom.
Yeah. But my thing is, why does he have to tell people that he's going to go sit in the closet for 4 days?
So he can control. The narrative.
You know what? I'm gonna be off the grid for 4 days. We don't need to know the details, Aaron.
But that's what he wants. Aaron wants to be able to say XYZ, and then whenever people speculate, he can go ahead and say, "Well, I never said that. That's not what I meant to say." And don't get me wrong, I love AR-12. AR-12 is my dynasty QB. But at the same time, it's like, if you're a Packer fan, it's kind of tough good road to hoe. But I don't care about that right now because all I know is as soon as he goes to the Raiders, it's going to be all good for me and Vaughn and AR-12 and sorry, James. But y'all draft a quarterback this year because they ain't picking up that $20 million option for Jordan Love in his 5th year. I'm sorry. Why would you? Would you pay Jordan Love $20 million unproven in his 5th year option?
No.
Hell no. Wes, would you pay an unproven quarterback $20 million for a 5th year option?
I don't know. Didn't the Cowboys do that?
No. They franchise tagged Dak Prescott. And it wasn't $20 million. It was like 17. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Dak had 3 years to show, and here's the thing is, remember, 5th year option only comes for 1st round picks. Dak wasn't the 1st round picks, 4th round.
Well, I'm just saying. They got the same amount of championship game appearances. So what's the difference?
Between Jordan Love and who?
Who and Dak? They got the same amount of championship game appearances.
That's not true because Dak was present last night to win the Walter Payton Man of the Year at the Super Bowl. So you, sir, are incorrect. But did he get booed? Yes, he got booed.
You know what, man? As much as I talk noise about Dak, how you gonna boo the man for getting the Walter Payton Award of the Year?
The same way they booed LeBron James.
You're talking about Eagles fans,
Wes.
the dude is. Huh? You're talking about Eagles fans here.
I mean, that's just terrible. The dude is doing a good thing. He's being a model citizen or a model player and helping out the community, and you're going to boo him? What? I mean, come on. That's just wrong.
That's why they're called the Boo Birds.
Don't get me wrong. I'm hard on Dak. You can boo Dak for his play on the field, but don't boo the man because he's doing the right thing with his career and doing the right thing and helping people. That's what we need more of, man. Come on, man.
Would you boo? Listen, let me just say this, Wes.
Give it to him, Paul.
If Jalen Hurts was receiving the Walter Payton Man of the Year and the Dallas Cowboys were playing the Super Bowl and you were in attendance, you wouldn't boo Jalen Hurts? Good and well you'd be booing Jalen Hurts. Don't give me that golf clap. Man. Don't give me that golf clap. Ain't nobody trying to hear that noise.
No, dude. You talking about for somebody doing something good in the community, in the league, for helping out people? No, I'm not gonna boo them for that. Now, if for some reason they give Jalen Hurts his MVP for play at the Super Bowl, yeah, boo. I don't want to see that. But are you talking about for him doing something good off the field?
You do know he gets a tax break for doing something good in the community, right?
It don't matter, man.
It doesn't matter?
He's still making an effort. I mean,
there's an incentive behind it. I don't believe it's 100%. It's my nature to be a good human and give back to the community. Oh, by the way, I'm going to claim all of this money for my millions of dollars of income. Don't get me wrong. I'm not about anybody not getting all the pennies. But at the same time, are you giving that money without taking the tax break? I think not.
Well, of course they're taking a tax break. It's just dumb not to do it. But I'm just saying, I don't see Aaron Rodgers getting that award.
Because Aaron Rodgers is the 4-time MVP. He ain't worried about Walter Payton. He worried about ayahuasca, allegedly, and winning Super Bowls and winning championships. But he ain't done it in a long time. He's only done it one time.
I'm just saying, you got players that aren't worried about that stuff.
I got to make sure I say allegedly because I don't want anybody to come. I mean, you got to think about that, right? If your show's getting sued, you're probably making a lot of money, right?
Yeah. It's
kind of how it goes, right? There's no incentive to do it anyways.
It means people are watching.
Yeah, I know. People are watching.
I wanted to talk about something real quick, if I may.
Look at James, if I may. Yeah, man. What's up?
The controversial hold at the end. I wanted to hear y'all's opinions on it because I saw a lot of Eagles fans. Ross was saying that the Chiefs are turning into the evil empire now.
Dun 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 dun. Wes, go ahead, man.
I think the Eagle fans need to chill because they had some calls that actually went in their way when they should have been called against them, especially in the NFC Championship game. So, but I believe the quarterback came out and said that he pulled his jersey. He tugged on his jersey. I mean, by rule, is that not a flag? I think that's usually when they call it, is when they see that tug of the jersey.
Yeah, I think it's what they're complaining about is because the majority of clips that show that play, like a lot of things get taken. They don't show like the full thing, and they're not showing the jersey tug. They're showing the penalty, which is not what they called the penalty on.
Right. After
the fact that he tugged his jersey when he had a slight left hand over him, and did he grab him? Who knows?
The question is, did he change his route? That's the question. Did he change the route?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking, did he change the route from what you could see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did he? And that's the way the rule's written.
Yeah.
Now, is it the greatest of timing? Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. But here's the thing. How many penalties did Philadelphia have last night? 6 penalties for 33 yards. How many penalties did Kansas City have? 3 penalties for 14 yards. Facts are the facts. That's what was called.
Those are 2 low numbers in my opinion.
Now, was the offensive line for Philadelphia moving in the first half quite a bit? Was it being called? Not at all. Argue with what you want. One side's going to see it one way, and the other side's going to not see it that way. So that's okay. That's what it is. But at the same time, if you're an Eagles fan, you should be ecstatic that your team played so tremendously well. Did they come up short? Yes, they did. Should Kansas City have lost the game?
Yeah.
You should. Well, if you don't give up that huge return, it's a game.
Yeah.
Your special teams failed.
Like I always say, and I don't think you'll ever catch me being like, oh, like we got screwed. It was that, because the fact of the matter is that I'm serious. I don't ever use the refs, because you put yourself in that position to let the game be determined by a flag.
Okay.
If you take care of business, you stop them from scoring. The Eagles, had it not been for that scoop and score, it would have been 7-21 going into halftime.
Yes.
Right? And so, how did you let them come back and all of this without answering? And, you put yourself in that position for it to come right down to the wire. I was hoping that Philly would get the ball back so I could hit, to have Jalen Hurts give a chance. And I was like, dude, come on, Hail Mary, come on. What was that? What did he threw like a freaking, I thought it was going to at least go to the end zone. That Hail Mary, if you even call that a Hail Mary. He even wound up for it. He planted his feet, looked up towards the heavens, and just launched it.
I wanted to say this earlier. I don't think Jalen was 100% healthy last night. And it was in his throws. A couple of his throws should have been intercepted, and they weren't, and Kansas City wasn't in position to do so. He looked good on his feet. He looked good running. A little bit of a fumble there during the game, but look, I don't. We're nitpicking when it comes to these things, and I know you had that fantasy lineup set up, or that I forgot what daily fantasy is what it's called. Yeah. But at the same time, these two teams played exceptionally well. It was the 3rd most watched event in the United States since they've probably been tracking this. I think there was 113 million views for that football game last night. And so it was fun. It was, were there penalties? Yes. But at the same time, look, Kansas City missed a field goal, and the game easily could have been, think about it. If the game was double digits going into the fourth quarter, Kansas City's running away with this, I don't know if Philadelphia gets close. I don't know. It could have been worse. But at the same time, the defense, I think Philadelphia's defense played well. I think Philadelphia's defense could have been a little bit more aggressive trying to go after Patrick Mahomes. They kind of just let him they basically wanted to play coverage. And I think they should have used Hassan Reddick more. I'm going to probably let the analytics go on that end, because we need to get into a reset real quick. But at the same time, it was a fun game. There's more to talk about. There's a whole bunch of more sports. We're having some more professional leagues start up in a couple of weeks and a couple of months. So it'll be fun to talk about. Before we get out of here, before we take a break real quick, Dallas ended up 4th in the power rankings. Wes, are you surprised by that? The way too early power rankings. Dallas is 4th. But here's my thing. Who else could be there? Maybe not 4th, maybe 6th. But still, 6 is way too high. Let's just say 6, right? Let's just say 6. How are you some of these teams not above them?
I don't know. But I think the Philly fans, they just feel like they missed an excellent chance,
They can
because
easily
you're just
be
not
back.
Guaranteed to get back to that game. You're
I know,
not guaranteed.
but there's nothing. There's nobody in their way. There really isn't. Who's in their way?
But you're talking about the season that even started. We don't know how it's going to end up. We don't know how things are going to develop. You never know who's going to go down. So I mean, that's what I'm saying by you're not guaranteed to get back there. It's not played on paper. People got to go out there and make plays.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this.
All right.
Who is representing the NFC in the playoffs next year?
In the Super Bowl.
No, in the NFC playoffs.
In the NFC playoffs.
Yeah, who's representing the NFC in the playoffs? Who is the seven teams? Who are the 7 teams?
I think it's pretty much going to be about the same as it was this year. You got to have
exactly.
Yeah, but like I said, things can go differently. That's all I'm saying. I mean, because look at what happened in San Francisco with San Francisco and the Eagles. Not in San Francisco, but it was, if they don't call that catch on Smith, that game might go differently. So I mean, it's a game of inches, man. Things can turn like that. So I just don't think it can turn around. I mean, things can go differently. So if Jalen Hurts doesn't make it all season healthy, we've seen what happens when the Cowboys don't have a healthy quarterback in the past. What have happened? The teams don't have their players.
Yeah, man. They went 4-1. They went 4-1.
They have the Cowboys at number 7.
So it's okay, 7. Thank you. Still, I think that's still kind of high. I'm like 10, maybe. There's 32 teams. There's 32 teams.
Yeah, they got.
There's easily 5 teams in the AFC who's better than the Cowboys. 5. Easily. Right now.
Who?
Okay.
Who?
Kansas City, Buffalo,
all right.
The Bengals. I would probably say Lamar. Is Lamar healthy? Baltimore? If Lamar's healthy, Baltimore. That's 4. And if I had to round it out, 2 is healthy. Is Tua healthy? 2 is healthy, Miami. How many games did Tua win as a quarterback starting? How many? All of them. All of them. All of them.
I don't think you can put Tua in there. Tua should retire.
Now. Yes, now.
You think he should retire?
Yes. He should retire.
Dude.
Yes.
He can't answer the phone without getting a concussion, dude. It's bad.
Ooh, on that note.
That
note. Yeah. Ooh, man, that was a good one, West. Yeah. Let's get into a quick break. We'll reset. We'll come back, talk a little NBA, get all little off the rails. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank y'all. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paul Rodriguez Show. Let's get into a little bit of NBA talk real quick. Lots of trades going on in the NBA. Huge move by the Nets, trading away practically all of their talent. Our resident expert in the NBA, Wes Washington, take us through these trades, brother. What is the Kyrie Irving trade to Dallas set up for the Dallas Mavericks?
I mean, at the time, it felt like it was a big deal. It probably puts Mavericks as maybe top 3 team to compete in the West. But as the Mavericks won, I think that night they played, I forget who they played. Anyway, they played the Clippers, and they ended up beating the Clippers. And literally, it seemed like 5 minutes after that game and watching them, next thing you know, the Kevin Durant trade to the Suns comes through. So now you got a big 3 in Phoenix with Chris Paul, Booker, and Kevin Durant with some great role players around them, guys that can knock down threes, open threes, and things like that. Played good defense. So the West, it should be pretty big. I think the Lakers, they got rid of Westbrook. They got they brought in back D'Angelo Russell, who was a one-time Laker, but I think they got rid of him because he was over there snitching on people.
About what?
Yeah, man, he was snitching on Sneaky Pete.
Okay.
But anyway, the West
allegedly, right? Allegedly.
Yeah, sorry, allegedly. But no, the West should be tough. I mean, you look at it right now. I think the Pelicans are a good team. You got to look at the Memphis Grizzlies. Even though for some reason everybody thinks that Ja Morant is a thug and his entourage.
Hold on. Tell where is this story coming from, and why is it existing? What is the backstory on this nonsense?
With Ja Morant?
Yes.
Well, what's happening is him and Dylan Brooks they're kind of getting a bad name. Dylan Brooks is becoming this smack talker. He's the one that initiated it with Uncle Shannon with the Laker game.
Shay.
I don't know why Shannon's, dude, you a grown ass man. You ain't supposed to be starting stuff with people. You get what Shannon got to be mid-50s, something like that. You don't need to be starting fights with young boys. Leave that alone.
Hey man, listen to me. Look, just give me one iota of your time, sir. Why you gotta call them young boys? Why you gotta say it like that? Cause you old or what? Why you gotta put them? Why you gotta put them young star athletes in their place? Because you 49 years old. What's the problem with you? What's the problem with you and Shay? What's wrong with y'all two? Y'all got it out for these young guys?
No, it's just the way we talk, man. From the South, leave them young boys alone. Anyway, those young gentlemen out there
now
doing
you want to get
thing,
PC.
don't try to steal their thunder. Stay away from that. But apparently, Ja Morant and his entourage of people, including his father, have been known to start up smack with other people and other players around the league. They've also were a car that Ja Morant had been seen riding in, drove by the Indiana Pacers bus, and a red laser came into the bus of the Pacers.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly.
Who saw it?
The laser came in there.
Who saw it?
The player saw the laser. The laser came into it.
That was what was reported?
But they don't know what it was. They just know it was a red beam, a light beam that came into it. So it could have been a pin, but yet and still, that ain't cool. You know what I'm saying?
You know what you sound like? You
What?
sound like those media people is what you sound like. You sound like Skip Bayless right now. You sound like somebody trying to make these athletes out to be something more than they're not. That's what you sound like right now.
I'm repeating what has been said.
No, was it said or was it reported? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
This is what was reported.
Who reported it?
I watched on ESPN.
Oh, the leader.
You can look it up.
The leader, huh? We should just believe the leader.
I'm hearing this on multiple talk shows, radio stations. This is not something that I was out in the parking lot and said, "Hey, man, I saw it." No, this is what I've been told.
So when here's my thing: did they see the light? Did they see the laser coming out of the car, or did they see the laser from the inside of the bus? Is that what happened? A bus? Yeah.
So they were on a bus. They said they saw his car driving by. Next thing you know,
who was driving?
Red. They said they saw Morant get into the car, but they don't know who was driving. So I'm guessing somebody in his entourage. But this is something that has been happening around the league with Ja Morant and his entourage.
Did they see anybody? Did they see anybody in the car?
I mean, they probably. I don't think they would know anybody in the car. Did they see the?
Did they see? Did they? Here's my question: Did they see people in the car, or were the windows rolled up?
See, I don't know that detail.
Were the windows tinted?
I have to look into that.
This is what I'm trying to figure out, because people can paint a picture all day long, and until you question the story, you think these people are questioning the story on the leader? You think the leader is letting people ask these kind of questions? Hell no.
Well, sorry, sir. I'm not allowed to ask Skip Bayless and all these kind of people these kind of questions.
You know
they don't
what?
give me that kind of insight.
You get to do it here. You get to ask those questions here.
But they don't answer me. That's what I'm saying.
Here's
I can
the thing.
ask that question, but they don't answer me.
Wes, here's the great thing about this is those people who are gonna not ask those questions, people are going to start thinking when they see this show. They're going to be like, well, wait a minute. Did anybody see the person holding the laser? Where did the laser come from? Was it a pen laser? What are they insinuating when they say the word laser? You know damn well what they're insinuating.
Yes.
And I
know exactly what they're insinuating. And that's what they said. They said they said they did not know for sure if what the laser was coming from. They don't know if it was coming from, say, the scope of a gun or whatever, or if it was just a little pen laser that was somebody was shooting it through the car.
I wouldn't have ever said that little word, that 3-letter word. I would never bring it up. You want to know why? Because I didn't see it and nobody else did. So all I have to say is there was a laser light that came from somewhere. And I want to know, did anybody see it? Because somebody could easily make some crap up because they don't like a certain person.
Yeah,
have we thought about that?
But I'm just saying, it's been trending that Ja Morant and his entourage have been because I guess they was talking smack to the bus before it happened, and then they later on did that.
Let me ask you a question, Wes. You think that these athletes have a lot of testosterone running through their blood because they're supreme super athletes?
And they're hanging around with idiots too.
Do you think I'm not disputing that fact, but what I am disputing is when you're young and you feel like you're invincible, don't you got a lot of false bravado? When I was young, I talked a lot of crap when I was on the field. Did you talk a lot of crap in the court?
Nah, man, I was very quiet.
You are lying. You are lying.
Man, I talk shit to everybody.
My point is that there's a lot of people out here, they don't like that. They don't like men being men talking whatever they want to talk about. They just don't like it. I'm sorry. You know what? That's the real world. And what I'm trying to get people to understand is that you cannot tell an elite athlete anything without them saying something back.
Oh, yeah.
And what I'm trying to get people to understand is that, look, just because you disagree with someone or you maybe feel offended by somebody or whatever the case may be, you start putting accusations on someone and you frame a certain image of how this person behaves on an everyday basis, you are setting up that person up for some major problems because everybody's going to run with the story because what? It sells. And that's what I want to know is, what are the facts? Because right now, everybody's talking like report this, alleged this, we seen this, they had a disagreement with that. And for me, at the end of the story, I'm like, has Ja Morant or his entourage ever been involved with any kind of illicit or illegal activity that you know of, Wes? Anybody talk about that on the leader? Anybody gone to jail?
I have to do more research on that.
Anybody gone to jail from his group?
But like I said, I'm kind of getting this from what I'm hearing between.
That's my point.
What I'm hearing between, huh?
That's my point. We're only hearing the negative. What's the positive? Yeah. Is the negative even true?
Well, the positive is that they're number 2 in the Western Conference. That's the positive. The positive, they're playing good basketball.
Sounds like a little jealousy to me.
That's probably the only reason that any of this means anything is because Ja Morant is playing good basketball. That the Grizzlies are looking good. They've taken on this little mentality of it. I don't know if they want to say that they're the bad boys. They're definitely not the bad boys of the '90s or whatever, like the Pistons or whatever. But they're trying to take on that swagger, as you say, and that grindhouse. Because Memphis is known for that. Kind of that 3-6 mafia type deal. So they're trying to take on that mentality, which hey, maybe that's a good thing because you get the city of Memphis behind you. And so I'm not hating on that. But you also got to draw a line on the way you treat people.
Well, here's my thing. You think they're being predatory? Do you think that they're going out of their way to elicit a negative response by being brash or having some sort of like macho attitude towards people? There's no way that they're going out and being negative without it being initiated by somebody. Because what it sounds like to me is the basketball success is translating off the field and people are having an adverse reaction to it because they don't like it because he's winning. His team is winning. And so they start chirping and they get mad when the man chirps back. Now, if there's anything to substantiate him being involved with illicit behavior or problematic behavior, then I want to know about it because that's going to change my frame of reference. But if the man's never been in any kind of trouble or his team and his circle, his group, his peers have never been in any trouble, what's the problem? James.
Okay, so after doing my diligence,
did a little digging.
There was a little confrontation, Wes, that occurred between the Grizzlies and the Pacers during the game. Lasted about 15 minutes. And John Morant's friend, who is, I guess his buddy, Devontae Pack, his good friend, got onto the court, not even playing or nothing like that, and was escorted out. And that's when all of that, what Wes was describing, happened afterwards. But and they were heard yelling, you don't know what we're about. Come see what I got, and stuff like that. And this is all accounts from the Pacers player, of course. They were all on the bus and all that stuff.
So who else heard him say that?
From
Did the Pacer player say that? Is he the one who gave that quote?
Yeah, the Pacers players.
Did any of the fans hear it?
No, because this was after, the game outside, when the teams are rolling out and all that.
Did the Pacer player make a police report about it?
Well, no, the NBA launched an investigation.
What are the findings?
The guy, Devontae Pack, was, it says that he was, I think he was banned from participating, in the rest of the games based on their findings, which I just did a little brief. I can probably do some more deep digging and, see what else I find.
Wes, didn't something like this happen last year or a couple of years ago with Djokovic, the Joker, and his brothers?
Yeah, I do remember something happening with Djokovic and his brothers. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it tends to happen when you got players that have these entourages and say another team, another player is talking smack to their main guy and their entourage, their leader, who their guy is. And so they got to take up for him. And then, so it just becomes a battle of, let's say, entourages or whatever. But I mean, to me, I don't know, man. It just seems, I guess that's the way it is now. You have this with the social media and this kind of stuff, and the guys are trying to step their on game persona and off the game stuff like that up and have just this big social media game.
Okay.
But my thing is, like, are these dudes really, like, these dudes are acting like they're thugs and stuff like that, but my whole thing is you're supposed to be trying to get away from that life. This is the whole reason you worked hard to get to the NBA, so you don't have to live that thug life. And from what I understand, John Morant I don't think he really had that kind of a thug life. Somebody said he went to private school and high school. He came from a good family, like had both parents in the house and that type of deal. He went to, I want to say, he go to Murray State. So, I mean, I just don't get it. I don't know why John Morant would want to be hanging out with thugs.
But how do you know they're thugs? That's my question to you.
Well, I don't know why John Morant would want to be hanging out with guys that want to act like they're thugs.
Okay, so you think that for someone taking up for their friend is acting like a thug? I'm just curious.
In that manner, yes.
Okay.
I got a little so regarding the investigation from the NBA.
This is with Morant's entourage. Okay.
Yeah. And so his friend, that dude Devontae Pack, he got banned from the FedEx, where the Grizzlies play at. Is that correct, Wes? The FedEx, I don't know what it's called. In
The
arena.
Grindhouse?
Yeah. So it says, while we substantiated that a post-game situation arose that was confrontational based on interviews and other evidence gathered, we could not corroborate that any individual threatened others with a weapon. Certain individuals involved in the post-game situation in a related manner during the game that night have been subsequently banned from attending games in the arena.
So it said no weapons were identified.
They couldn't,
Doesn't sound like thug behavior to me.
But didn't they say,
you know what it
come
sounds
see
like?
what I got?
Say again, Wes.
I thought they said something like, come see what I got. When you say come see what I got, I mean, you're implying you got something. You know,
How do you? But here's the thing:
something to put somebody down. Basically.
Did an investigation occur?
You know, that was. I'm saying when they said, I'm guessing from what I understand,
You
say,
believe?
come see what I got.
You're believing?
That's like back in my day when we played ball, guys would say, "I'm gonna pop the trunk."
Okay, so hold on real quick. What I'm trying to get you to see is you're believing what that guy said to be true, if that's what you're claiming. And what I'm trying to tell you is that an investigation was launched and an investigation concluded, and the findings were that no weapons were found to be used. So just because you make a statement doesn't mean that it involves anything to do with a weapon.
Yeah, but they can.
You're trying to live. Listen, you're trying to live in both aspects of the verbiage and how it applies socially. It doesn't work. You cannot have that mindset, because if you do, anything I say can be translated into however somebody wants to paint it. And unless you deal with the facts, like the investigation that was held by an independent
But how
authority?
How are they gonna find out that anything, especially after the fact, that anything? You know what I'm saying?
This is the NBA.
Yes.
It's the NBA.
Yeah. So you trust like the NFL if they conduct an investigation, or the NBA if they conduct an investigation? You put your wholehearted 100% faith that what they're telling you is true, and that if there was something dirty or anything wrong, that they would find it.
I'm going to say yes, and here's why.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes, and here's why. Because if the future comes to light and something was found and they lied, then I can have that doubt. But to my knowledge, whenever there has to do with violence or violent crimes, these leagues take a hard line against it, because they know if they're wrong in the future, there's going to be a lot of problems.
Why would they ban that guy though for a whole year from the arena?
Because I think they ban anybody for life if they get on the court, or if they try to. Wes, help me out. Did they ban people for life if they, like, who was it? I'm trying to think of his name. He was a former player. He played with the Knicks. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now.
Oh, you're talking about Charles Oakley.
Yeah, Oakley. Wasn't Oakley banned from the Madison Square Garden?
But I believe what happened with Oakley, he was banned because he had a problem with the current owner. Now, I don't know if Charles Oakley is still banned, because I don't think they like that owner.
So was Charles Oakley acting like a thug?
I mean, Charles Oakley, when he played, he was known as a guy that, you know, that check people.
He was an enforcer.
When I mean check people, if you were running your mouth and you were doing something and you came in the lane,
mm-hmm.
Charles Oakley put you on the ground and let you know, watch who you're talking to.
Okay.
That's the kind it was.
So let me ask you this question.
Charles Oakley was the goon of basketball. He was a goon.
He was an enforcer. So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So what's the phrase you use? Come see what I'm about? Is that what you said?
Come see what I got.
Come see what I got, right?
See what I got for you.
So if I took to the streets and I said I was in a certain neighborhood and I said, come see what I got, what is that going to mean to you?
Bro.
That means I would think if you going in the hood and you saying, hey, come see what I got for you, you better. I would hope you have a gun, because if you're in the hood and you say that, I would hope you have a gun, because
So, like
if
I
you don't,
said,
you're probably gonna get shot.
if you're at a certain time of day or night, if you're in a certain time of hour and you're in a certain neighborhood, I just say neighborhood. Who cares where it is? My point is, if you say the words, come see what I got, is Charles Oakley acting like a thug? In 1991?
I'm sure Charles Oakley is probably acting like a thug at times. I mean, dude.
Why isn't anybody calling Charles Oakley a thug then? Nobody's called Charles Oakley a thug.
Charles Oakley is known for being a goon. He's been known for being an enforcer. But
Who's called him that?
I don't think back then.
Who's called him that?
But I don't think back then it was more of. I don't think it was about saying, "Hey, come see what I got." Charles Oakley was just ready to throw hands. Yeah. So that, to me, it's a little bit different.
That's more of the. That's more of the old school mentality.
I think what's happening is that we're letting a certain culture come into our mindset, and we're using that as a crutch.
This is what they did.
I'm just saying,
calling it how I read it. If I
say, "Come see what I'm about," and "Come see what I got," don't y'all think those are the same things?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think
come see what I'm about? I mean, come on, that can mean a number of things, but specifically,
what's more thuggish? Come see what I'm about, or come see what I got?
Come see what I got.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, dude, like you.
And who said that?
Allegedly
Oakley.
No. John Morant's his whole little entourage.
Okay, because that's not the way I remember it.
No. Come see what I got is from Wes is talking about Oakley, like, just like, roughing up people, not roughing them up, but like being an enforcer, like, hey, you're talking shit, like wanting to throw down, not pulling like a Gilbert Arenas and taking like, guns to the freaking arena. But allegedly, according to the Indiana Pacers bus, that's what was yelled at them, along with a number of other things, and along with a laser pointer. So if you're saying come see what I got, and then you see a laser pointer, without the laser pointer, I'm assuming you're talking about a gun. I'm gone. You know what I mean? But if somebody says come see what I got, and you see a laser pointer, that ain't no good. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So have these people, you said the investigation had concluded. So did they find any weapons?
Nope.
Okay.
They also didn't find Ray Lewis's suit.
How they gonna find weapons?
Did they find the glove?
That's all I'm saying.
Right. Here's my point: is that if they couldn't find it, and there was due process, there was an investigation. Y'all just ready to put everybody? Y'all just ready to lock everybody up? Is what you're telling me?
I guess it's. I'm not from the streets.
That's what you're saying, though, Wes.
No, I'm not.
I'm not necessarily I wouldn't say I'm from the streets, but I've been around people, and I know I know what's going on here. I'm not 90% sure I know what's going on here. I wasn't there, but like I can recognize these things. You know what I mean?
Let me just say this one point. Let me tell you why I'm so careful not to label any human with that title. Because once you label anybody, I don't care what you look like, once you label someone with a certain nomenclature, it's going to stick with them. And people are going to use that to frame their behavior. And once we frame that behavior, it is stuck with that person their whole life. Ray Rice. Okay? Gilbert Arenas. Plexico Burris.
Meta World Peace. Steven Jackson.
Joe Mixon. Okay? There's tons of players. Wes, who's the NBA player who got caught with the body in their trunk? Early 2000s.
NBA player that got caught with a body in their trunk?
I believe it's NBA player.
It's an NFL player.
Maybe the NFL player. I'm sorry.
Ray Cruz?
Maybe that's who it is. James, double check.
He was hiding in the trunk when they tried to go find him.
Is that what it is?
Because he had hired somebody to kill his, I guess, alleged, or was a chick that he got pregnant. I don't know if it was his girlfriend or not, but she was pregnant. I guess she was keeping a baby. He hired somebody to kill that person.
So here's my point. My point is,
and then they went to go get him. He was hiding in a trunk.
I got you. Okay, so my point is that when you say that person's name, their history is going to follow them forever. And all I'm saying is that as soon as that thing sticks, as soon as however you describe them, whatever you put after their name is going to stay with them a long time. And unless they have an opportunity, now their behavior is going to dictate that. I'm not saying it's not. But at the same time, I'm going to be careful before I put anything on anybody, because as soon as, here's Calvin Ridley, right? You think Calvin Ridley, anybody's going to want to bet on his games when he plays football next year?
No.
Probably not.
I think, what do you think when I say Marvin Harrison?
Leading receiver for the Colts, has a great son at Ohio State.
But
what?
I mean, allegedly, he was connected to a murder at a car wash, wasn't he?
Was it proven?
I mean, I don't know whatever happened to the story. It seemed like it came up and then it just disappeared.
What do you remember? You remember that about Marvin Harrison. What did I remember?
What do you think when I say Ray Lewis?
Greatest middle linebacker outside of Mike Singletary.
But a lot of people remember Ray Lewis allegedly being connected to a murder.
Michael Vick. What do you think about when I say Michael Vick? I got one word. I got one word for Michael Vick. You know what it is? Redemption.
Yeah. What about Karl Malone? What do you think?
The mailman.
Really?
Well, Allen Iverson.
Do we want to play Do you want to play this game?
We can go all night.
I'm fixing to say a name. I'm fixing to say a name. It's gonna piss a whole lot of fucking people off.
I'm just saying. I mean, what you were just saying when you put that name.
That's right.
When you say somebody's name.
That's right.
They stick with that.
That's right.
I said Karl Malone. First thing I think of Karl Malone is him having sex with underage girls.
Black Mamba.
Yeah.
Do you want to go down that one?
I think panties.
Black Mamba. I'm just saying.
Panties.
I'm not going to say the man's name, but y'all know damn well what I'm talking about.
I know. I think panties, because that's all I heard about when it went down, were the alleged panties and what was in them.
But it was all the ruse, right? It was all fake.
Yeah.
It was consensual.
It's still, it happened.
But here's my point: is that if you put that label on, it will stick forever, and we should want to do better. But does it sell? Does it sell though? I'm talking about media in general. I'm not talking about us. I'm just talking about media in general. It sells.
I mean, Allen Iverson had the thug name on his. He had a thug name on him before he got to the NBA. He had a whole career, but you still think is Allen Iverson as a thug? Mm-hmm. Why? Because of what happened before he got to the league.
Maybe I'm just sheltered because I don't think of him as a thug.
The way he dressed, they didn't like the way he dressed, so that
they changed the whole. Didn't they change the NBA's wardrobe or your dress code?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at Randy Moss. Randy Moss kind of came into the league with a bad name, getting kicked out of one school, having to go to Marshall and all that kind of stuff.
Is this how you're going to tie Dallas into it?
Nobody tied Dallas into anything
because Dallas skipped on Randy Moss.
Well, you want to bring up Dallas? Who got in trouble? Just probably because of his name and his history.
And who's suing for $100 million defamation lawsuit?
He should.
Yeah. This whole thing can kind of be summarized.
Look at James putting a bow on it. Go on, James.
Well, they're just saying, you can take the dude out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the dude.
I thought you were gonna use a different analogy of that one, but look at you getting PC.
I'm sorry.
Wes, you ain't from no hood.
I never claimed to be from the hood.
you from McNeil. He went to private school.
I grew up in the hood until I was like sixth grade or something like that.
Until he was 6'3".
West Morant.
But it was in the 80s. In the early 80s, it wasn't that hood. It was just poor people. It wasn't hood. It was just poor.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? Well, it wasn't like we were hearing gunshots and all that kind of stuff through East Austin, but we still would. I rode my bike all by myself. I walked home all the time by myself as a young kid, but you can't do that now. But it's some guys that have gotten bad names and I think gotten away from it. Like you said, Metal World Peace. I think, if anybody thinks about Metal World Peace, Ron Artest, you think about the melee in the Palace. But he went on to have actually a decent career after that game.
No doubt. All right, Wes, let's get into a quick break. We'll reset, and when we come back, we'll wrap this bad boy up. Maybe get off the rails for 10 minutes and then put a bow on it. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to get off the rails. It's been a wonderful weekend. The big game was yesterday. Time to see what the fellas have been watching. I watched a couple of good movies this weekend. Saw Old Western. I can't remember the I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was like Sergeant. Gosh dang, I can't think of the top of my name. It's about Buffalo Soldiers, and it was a pretty good movie. This past weekend kind of saw it. It was from 1960, and it was what's up?
Was it black and white?
No, it was like Technicolor, but it was on Turner Classic Movies, and it was being not debuted, but it was being like sponsored by Robert Townsend. And I was like, oh, sweet, this is a good movie. So I kind of watched it.
Sergeant Rutledge.
Very good. There you go, Sergeant Rutledge. It's a good flick. Wes, I think you'd enjoy it. I enjoyed it tremendously. You kind of got to see what it was like for, I don't know, like African Americans who were soldiers in the West. They fought like the Native Americans, and yeah, it was pretty cool. It's a good story. Captain Buffalo. That's the his nickname was Top Soldier. Not to be confused with Top.
What's your favorite Western of all time?
That's a good question. Favorite Western of all time. Man, I don't know off the top of my head. If I had to like just say one out of all, I would probably say, God, I'd probably be wrong if I just guessed. I'd probably say The Outlaw Josie Wales. If I had to guess one, probably say that one. Clint Eastwood. I'll probably think of another one come later. James, you got a Western?
I do.
You have a Western?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a new one?
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer?
Yeah. I got two guns, one's for each of you.
Okay.
Tombstone. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. I love that movie. Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I like that one also.
Okay. Is Tombstone a Western, Wes?
I knew y'all were going to say that.
Is Tombstone a Western?
Why is it not?
I'm just curious.
I just had a feeling.
You know what? It's not. You know what it is, Wes? I'm sorry. When you asked me the question, what's your favorite Western? What I heard was, what's my favorite spaghetti Western? That's what I heard. So that's my fault. But yeah, spaghetti Western, probably Outlaw Josie Wales. What about you, Wes?
What is spaghetti Western? I don't know what that means.
Well, no, it's I don't think I'm qualified or old enough to answer that question, but maybe we'll have some of the fans let us know what a spaghetti Western is in the comments.
I
figured you would know, Wes. Well, you're old enough.
I need to see more older
James?
Westerns. I know the newer Westerns.
It says it's a broad subgenre of Western films produced in Europe.
Yeah, produced in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. That's why it's spaghetti Western, because they filmed a lot of it in Italy.
I've heard the term before, but I kind of just chalked it up to like Western that was produced like way back in the day.
Somebody told me if you ever hear that ricochet,
yeah.
That's like the opening to spaghetti Westerns.
Well, also the gun sound effects.
Right.
Pew!
Mm-hmm.
Pew!
Have you ever spit into a platoon, a spitting platoon?
No.
No. Those little things that are on the ground, they spit tobacco in. Yeah. Sound effects, James. What's yours, Wes?
Dude, real quick side note, dude. I would love like my life would be fulfilled if I was ever like a sound effects guy, just like because I'm just like.
Would you be like? Whatever those, like you seen that lady on who does it on TikTok or?
Yeah. I actually have. I'm more of like a just vocal. Like I can like do a whole lot of like different impressions and also sound effects with my mouth. Y'all see Shaq at the Super Bowl?
No.
He was there. He was there like that. And he was waving. Shaq. They showed him.
Oh, here we go.
I sent it in the Instagram.
Nasty. He's auditioning for Kiss now. He's gonna take Gene Simmons' spot.
Yeah, no, he should have retired about 10, 15 years ago. Probably 25.
Wes, what's your westerns, man?
James kind of stepped on my mind. Tombstone's definitely my favorite, but I'm also a big fan of Young Guns. I love Young Guns. Also, it was the what's the one they did a remake of it with Jeff Bridges. I can't think of it right now, but I like that one. That was pretty good. But I probably need to watch some older westerns. You know, like The Good, Bad, and Ugly, and Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, that kind of stuff. I need to go back and watch those.
You're talking about True Grit?
Yeah, True Grit. Yes, True Grit. But I remember I used to watch a lot of the Western shows coming up because my mom, my grandma, they always loved those. I used to watch The Rifleman, Bonanza.
Are you sure you're not 60?
Well, dude, when you, like I said, sometimes I had to actually have to hang out and with my grandma, and that's what she used to watch. You talk about Splatoon. She had Red Man. She had a big old coffee can next to the TV, and she would watch. Like I said, she watched The Rifleman. She would watch Bonanza. Right there in the coffee can of some Red Man. Big old. She would put a huge thing of Red Man. It's like it would be like her whole jaw over here. But yes, I'm old. I like old music. You know, we established that I'm old.
It's all right, buddy. I'm right behind you. If you can't tell, just look at my beard. James.
Hey, I'm getting there.
It's just your hairline.
I got a little patch right here, dude. It's just growing. It just grows.
Just cut it. Just keep cutting it.
I do, but it's like you can still see it.
I'll get you the oils for Christmas.
I'm good.
That's. I don't know. I don't know where this show's going.
I don't think I'm ever gonna.
What did you say? You said.
What's up?
You said you watched another movie. What was the other movie?
Now I can't think. I watched Sicario a couple of weeks ago. The first one. Yeah, the first one. The second one, man. But that's a good movie. I liked it. I mean, I've actually
What's that
been
about the Mexican border?
Yeah, about the Sicario is like a hitman in Spanish for the narcos. Another I think movie that I have been wanting to see but haven't really seen lately is I always get a kick, like for some reason I just like something tells me to watch Armageddon. But I was like, it's a good movie, yeah, for sure. It's a good flick. But
it's not too long either. It's like kind of just right.
But it flows.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it I like the most is like it flows. Outside of the scene with Ben Affleck and the cookie, what do they call it? Animal crackers?
Yeah, animal cracker. While her dad's
there's grazing through the plains, comes across the mountains. I'm like, dude, really? Liv Tyler? Come on, give me a break.
Or her dad's playing music in the background.
James over here like 15-year-old grin. There it is,
dude. Because it's just so odd, dude. It's like you're over here like doing this scene.
Yeah, that kind of nonsense.
Yeah,
it's funny. What you
Steven Tyler's the kind of guy that is like, they're like, hey, do you know any like hot, sexy young girls that can like be in my movie? And he's like, oh yeah, I got my daughter.
Is that you just making that up?
No, he's the kind of guy that will like do that. Like,
well, it's only one of his daughters.
Yeah.
Ooh, did that throw shade? Sorry.
Does he have multiple? I don't know.
That's all you need to know. Okay. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
How many seen the movies?
And they're like, well, it's kind of a steamy scene. He's like, yeah, that's cool. I'll go ahead and play music in the background while we're doing it.
Hilarious.
Odd. Only Steven Tyler. Me and my friends got a kick a while back going off of like all the times because he used to be a judge on the American Idol. And you just type in
really?
Yeah, Steven Tyler creepy moments American Idol.
Wow.
Fucking
weird.
That show's still going.
He's just an old guy trying to get his from
He's
young
gotta
chicks.
He's got to be 60. How old is he? He's got to be.
He's.
I want to know the year he was born. Just tell me the year he was born if you can find that, because I just want to like think about it for.
Okay.
Because you were.
That
was a little weird. Okay.
Well, because I saw his age. Okay, 1948.
Dude, that's like he was alive nearly when the World War was like coming to an end.
Okay, he's 74.
Yeah. Okay, here's a funny thing. I know y'all are gonna give me crap for this, but I don't give a rip. So you know Cy from Duck Dynasty, right? Okay, so think about this. Listen, they're the same age. Yeah.
Well, one's at work. A lot of it.
A lot of it. Once, yeah. Think about it. They're the same age. You put those two guys side by side, they're both born in 1948.
What about Keith Richards?
I don't even want to know. Probably 1938.
He's probably 90 by now.
Has to be.
old.
See, Wes, we don't just talk about you being old. We talk about everybody being old.
You see, yeah, I'm not going to get into that.
Uh-oh.
It's dark side.
Okay, good. It's dark side. Wes, you all right, buddy? You look a little...
Yeah. No, that's the Maverick game is getting kind of close down the stretch.
I thought you said they were losing.
Did you ever watch You People?
We with
I don't think so.
What's his name? Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill.
No,
Yeah.
I heard it got. I saw the reviews and I was like, I'm not wasting my time.
Don't let it discourage you.
Why
Really?
would
I
I?
thought
If
it
it
was
sucked,
pretty
why would I
funny.
want to watch it?
It didn't suck, in my opinion.
I don't think I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's got some people. It's got some of my favorite people in there, so I had to give it a shot.
But did you like it because it had your favorite people, or did you like it because it was good?
I liked it because I laughed. I found some parts of the movie funny.
Okay, was it good because it had people you like in it, James, or was it funny?
I mean, Wes would be the one that's gonna connect it.
Why?
I mean, I know he loves Eddie Murphy, and
I like Eddie Murphy.
I mean, I like Jonah Hill, and I feel like
Pineapple
he
Express.
did good. He was typical Jonah Hill, but then I heard a review on it, and they were like, Jonah Hill was horrible, bro. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is what he brings. Like, somebody said, oh yeah, he looked like he just like didn't even read the script and like didn't even rehearse or nothing. He just got dressed and showed up to set and didn't give a shit. Is what it looked like. And I'm like, dude, that's Jonah Hill's style. You know what I mean?
I thought he was like a part of the production.
He probably was. He doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't get enough credit, for his performances. Because he goes about it.
I
Like,
thought he was been nominated for like Academy Awards and things like that.
I'm pretty sure.
Jonah Hill? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I doubt it.
I think so. But,
Maybe writing.
No. Only problem I had with Jonah Hill in the movie is that his hair just bugged me. It was terrible. But I mean, he lands this hot chick, but his hair is just awful.
Yeah, it is. It's
What?
very awful. So Oscar nominations: Best Supporting Actor for 2014 is The Wolf of Wall Street. Best Supporting
He won
Actor. Yeah.
Wow, really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much playing himself, but
Nomination.
that's what I was trying to. I was like, I didn't think he win.
They misled me.
I don't think
It
he
says right here awards. Oh, never mind. It says right next to it nominee.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
Anything else, fellas? Anything else got going on? I mean, we got another show tomorrow. I'm just trying to think if there's anything. We're going to try to do better because
Tomorrow y'all don't have no dates?
Kicked our butt, huh?
Tomorrow y'all don't have no dates?
I don't have any dates.
Yeah.
I got a date with y'all.
I definitely got no date. I don't think I've had a Valentine's date since probably James was in diapers last time.
1986 is the last time he had a date.
But was that you that told me to watch the Mayor of Kingstown.
Mayor of Kingstown?
No. Yeah. No?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell either.
I did start watching the new season of You on Netflix.
What is that about?
It's about
that's that creepy shit.
Yeah, it's about pretty much like a psychopathic stalker / murder.
Yep, not me. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna have bad dreams because I will have bad dreams.
Okay.
I watched the Dahmer stuff, so I mean that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be as bad as that stuff. That right there was a lot worse, just because like that was true story.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that could have been you if you lived.
Stuff, I don't think it's as scary. It's just it is just creepy.
That could have been you if you lived up there in that part of the country.
That was not going to be me, man. Come on, stop that.
All right.
Dude, I'm not even going to try to. I'm not going down that road. But anyway, I just finished that. Did you ever watch that show, Animal Kingdom?
Nope.
No, I don't get that channel, buddy.
It was on TNT. It was actually pretty good. It had Ellen Barkin. I don't know. It's basically she raises a family of bank robbers.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like Animal Planet style. I was like, this show's got to be for people with chandeliers because I don't have one.
No, man. It was on TNT. It's basically about she raises. She's always pulling scams, robbing people, and all that kind of stuff. And then she, takes it down to her sons and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. It's pretty good. Some stuff, it's kind of hard to watch, but they have people popping in and out that are pretty good. I think Dennis Leary's in there. Dennis Leary, he's a good actor because anytime he's in a show or a movie or whatever, I just want to hit him in the face. So I figured, that's good acting.
God damn.
Why? Why do you want to hit him in the face?
He always plays a villain or the evil guy.
You ever watched anything with Dennis Leary?
No.
All right, then.
I used to watch that show that he did on FX when he was a firefighter.
Oh yeah, I love that.
That was
show.
a good
I
one.
still want to hit him in the face though. Rescue
Me? Yeah, Rescue Me. Yeah,
it was a good show.
Y'all are violent.
Man, don't. Oh my, this dude.
What
is your deal today?
What's with all the violence? It's Valentine's Day, man. I'm in my feels, bro. Can't I be in my feelings?
Yeah. And your thug talk and all this kind of stuff.
Hey, nobody brought up no talk like that except for you, sir.
Anyway,
look, Star Wars. Man. Look, Star Wars. Let me just simmer down with all the Disney talk. You over here talking about the leader. You talking about Star Wars.
Speaking of Disney, I'm getting ready to go watch Ant-Man on Thursday.
Here we go.
Yeah. Hey, you brought it up. You brought it up. Disney talk.
He's been slinging all that beer. He's been slinging all that non-alcoholic beer. What a waste. Would you drink non-alcoholic beer?
No.
Wes, would you drink non-alcoholic beer?
No.
Sorry.
That's a no.
No.
Mavericks couldn't close it out.
Yeah, they suck.
Well, yeah, I don't see the point of non-alcoholic beer. It's like decaf coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I've been into lately? Been into tea lately. Peppermint tea, to be exact. A little honey.
I drink sleepy time tea every night.
Trying to get your melatonin to release or what?
Release me.
It's kind of wind down and.
What a weirdo.
Have a little tea.
Tea at night? What a thug.
Man, I can't do anything at night without y'all.
Bro, you brought it up.
Making fun of me.
You
made fun of me about the bath bomb. And I would. The bath bomb was the bomb, man. So stop hating. I need to find me some more of them CBD bath bombs.
Next thing you know, you're gonna be like, I can't make the show. I got a Manny and Petty schedule. Do you get a pedicure, Wes? Do you get your toes done?
No, I don't like people touching my feet. James? I don't like people touching me. Period. But
yeah, me either.
No.
But I feel myself moving in that direction. Like I won't roll out that one day I will. I won't roll that out because a lot of things that I've been against, like I feel myself as I get older. Like I mean, they say you give less fucks as you get older, and I feel myself.
You just don't care.
I just don't care. I'm like, somebody calls me whatever for wearing this, well, fuck them.
Yeah.
Life's simpler that way.
All right. I mean,
Life's simpler that way.
That's true. That's very, very true. Life is simpler that way. Wes, you got anything for the people before we get out of here?
None, man. I just want to give a shout out to my boy, fan of the Paul Rodriguez show, Nas Cool. R.I.P. my friend. That being said, everybody, get updates. Go see the doctor. If something's wrong, man, go get it checked out. Just don't ignore it because you never know. We're getting to that age. You can't ignore anything if you don't feel good. But just want to say RIP to Nas Cool.
Respect. James?
Nah, I mean, we're getting ready to do Dark Side episode 200. I feel it's crazy to feel like I've been doing podcasting we're going on 5 years. I'm going on 5 years this year. And, linked me up with so many cool people like yourself. And feel fortunate enough to be here. I was getting there. I
didn't want him to get in his feelings.
Yeah, look at him. I mentioned his name. Look at him. Look at that smile.
Jeez.
But yeah, man. So we're gonna do episode 200. But it's not gonna be this week. It's gonna be next week because we got some we got some stuff planned, and it should be a good time. Looking forward to it. So just stay tuned.
Are y'all gonna do donations for drinks?
No, we're gonna do a giveaway, but we're not doing. No, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Just curious. Thought I had opened my wallet.
Nah. I mean, you can.
I need to show. I need someone to do a show. As always, I appreciate everybody tuning in. For everybody who left comments during the show, we really appreciate that. It helps a bunch. Share this content with your friends, your family, anybody you'd like to just share it with. We appreciate it. And always, love yourselves. Love your neighbors. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.